great players, they have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, baby.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The wait is finally over. The Raiders have completed their 2023 NFL draft, and today we are going to be going over all of our picks, my quick thoughts and opinions on these selections, and an overall consensus / a grade on this draft this year. So let's start off with our first round pick in defensive end, Tyree Wilson. Personally, at the moment of the pick, I wanted us to go with defensive tackle Jalen Carter, but at the same time, I can understand why they did not make this pick due to his off the field question marks. Now, Tyree Wilson is a versatile player on the defensive line. He can play on the edge and even on the interior, and he's a physical monster with his strength and overall size at the position. The guy is absolutely huge. He dominated college relying mostly on his pure size and strength, but in the National Football League, he will need to improve on his overall technique as a pass rusher in order to become a complete player for this team. Watching the film, I really liked his ability stopping the run. And overall, this was a solid pick, especially since we finally didn't reach like we have done in years past. Whether you like the pick or not, he was rated as one of the top defensive ends in this class, and we got him at number 7. So in terms of a value standpoint, it was overall a good selection. And with our second round pick, I think the Las Vegas Raiders got tremendous value in tight end Michael Mayers out of Notre Dame. Watching his film, I love the fact that he can block and he can also catch passes down the field. He's very physical, and he will help our running back Josh Jacobs eat in the running game. He's a good blocker. He's got very sure hands, and the Raiders got great value because he is the best tight end in this whole draft class, and he was mocked to be a first round talent for months now. So the Raiders to be able to steal him in the second round was absolutely great. And with our third round pick, the Raiders addressed a position of need, addressing the trenches, where we selected defensive tackle Byron Young out of Alabama. Now, I haven't had the chance to watch his film, but what I can say is I would have preferred if we would have drafted the defensive tackle out of Baylor, Siaki Ika, over him, in my personal opinion. And it seems like Byron Young may have been a bit of a reach at number 70, so I don't love the pick. But moving on to the next one, with the number 100 overall pick, the Raiders went back on offense and added a speedster at the wideout position. The Raiders selected slot wide receiver Trey Tucker out of Cincinnati. And this pick I have mixed feelings about, because at the same time, as a player, Trey Tucker, the more I watch him, the more I really do like him as a player overall. He brings a certain factor, a certain element that this offense just does not have. But when I look at the needs we have on this team, I feel like wide receiver was much lower on the pecking order than other spots on this team, especially on the defensive side of the football. So I like the player, but at the same time, offense hasn't been the biggest issue on this team. But Tucker will add a much needed element to this offense, and that is the ability to take the top off of a defense. And with this pick, this just shows me that our slot wide receiver Hunter Renfrow days are numbered in the silver and black. But it does feel like Josh McDaniels has all the weapons necessary to have a good offense now. And with our fourth round pick, the Raiders selected Jacorian Bennett out of Maryland. We add another speedster to this defense. Jacorian Bennett ran a 4.3 40-yard dash, and looking at his tape, he also plays pretty fast as well, which is something crucial because every year there are some players who show out in the NFL Combine and have amazing 40-yard dash times, but a lot of them, when you look at the film, they don't look fast on that field. And at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. Bennett has good ball skills as well at his position and does good in man-to-man coverage. And also, I saw him playing some snaps in the slot, but primarily he was on the outside. He also has decent size for a cornerback at 6 foot, 185 pounds, and I think Patrick Graham got an overall good addition to this defense. The only noticeable flaw I saw that he could definitely improve in the run support, but after that, the Raiders then went ahead and addressed the quarterback position, which is something we most definitely need, especially with having an injury-prone cornerback like Jimmy Garoppolo and having a really old veteran in Brian Hoyer. The Raiders traded up 9 spots to select quarterback Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue University. And I'm gonna be honest, I do not like this pick. Now look, I don't mind us taking a quarterback, but I think we did not have to trade up for O'Connell. And personally, I think there were other quarterbacks on the board that I would have preferred personally. But the Raiders ended up taking a quarterback, and they chose a quarterback who was a more prototypical Josh McDaniels, I guess you could say a Patriot way type of quarterback in Aiden O'Connell. Overall, I think O'Connell's a decent quarterback. He's not terrible, but he's also not a guy I was super excited about going into this draft. Personally, I would have much preferred a more mobile style quarterback like maybe a Dorian Thompson-Robinson, but Josh McDaniels got his style quarterback for this type of offense. O'Connell overall has good accuracy. I felt like he excelled in the 10 to 20 yard range in between the hashes type of throws, but he also has the ability to make a lot of NFL throws, but he needs to be much more consistent and needs to work on his decision making as well. Ultimately, I think he will be a guy that will hold that clipboard on the sideline for a year or two, and Josh McDaniels will be heavily involved in his developmental process. And at pick 170, the Raiders traded up once again to address the safety position, and we selected safety Christopher Smith out of Georgia. He is 5'11", 195 pounds. He's regarded for being a high IQ football player, and he only allowed one touchdown pass, playing in over 530 snaps last season. I still need to watch some film on him, but it seems like the Raiders got someone who can definitely contribute and provide valuable depth to our much needed safety room. And in the 6th round, the Raiders finally addressed the linebacker position. The Raiders selected linebacker Amari Burney out of Florida University. Also, another fun fact is that he is cousins. He is related to current cornerback on the team, Brandon Faison, so that's cool. And also, I think one thing to keep in mind is our general manager, Dave Ziegler, was present at one of the Florida games this past season, so maybe he saw something from him in that game that influenced his decision to select him. He is also a player that fits the overall theme of most of these draft selections this year, and that is the versatility he provides. He's a more of a hybrid linebacker with good speed, and more than likely he'll be a nickel linebacker for this team. He can also play some snaps at safety as well if needed. As I said, he is versatile. He started off his career with Florida on the defensive line, moved to the safety spot, and then ultimately the linebacker position. And last but not least, the Raiders, with our final draft selection, we chose defensive tackle Nesta Jade Silvera out of Arizona State. He is 6'2", 304 pounds, and has massive strength, and he is supposed to be good against the run. He very likely isn't going to be much help in terms of rushing the quarterback, but when it comes to the trenches, especially at the defensive tackle position, I don't mind the depth. The Raiders now have 3 young defensive tackles in Neil Farrell from last year's draft, Byron Young, Alabama defensive tackle, and now Jade Silvera. So hopefully one of these guys can pan out for us at this position. But Raider Nation, overall my thoughts on this draft is I think it was a solid draft overall, but I don't think it was great. I don't think we absolutely hit it out of the park. Now, it wasn't a bad draft by any means. We most definitely made some good picks, but I would have felt better if we would have got a little bit more help in the cornerback room and the linebacker core. Our linebacker position is very suspect at the moment, but the Raiders did get a lot of value in some of their picks, especially with the tight end Michael Mayers. But overall, if I had to give Dave Z and his regime a grade for this draft, overall, I'd have to give them, let's say, a B overall. But I am curious to see what you guys think of this draft overall. Let me know in the comment section down below. Give me a grade. Let me know what you guys liked about it, what you didn't like. Comment down below. With that being said, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.